So here's a way that, might work, submitted for your approval, in terms of getting them into that rudimentary deadlift position. Here's what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to assume the official CrossFit rest position. All right? It's a big wad. It's some type of AMRAP with a 400-meter run and some nastiness in it. And this is in between rounds, right? You guys are just like, you could even maybe grab one part of your whatever here and just hold on for your life. All right? Now what I want you guys to do is go ahead and crank your chest up. What did we just do? What did we just achieve? Lumbar extension. It's a good way to tell your athletes, are you okay, James, with the knee? You sure? Okay. It's a good way to educate your athletes to get that lumbar extension because that's the key. I want you guys to wiggle your toes now. All right? Good. And then I want you to stand. All right. Let's go back. Now this time, let's just send those hips back, get back into that CrossFit rest position, raise the chest, get that lumbar extension, wiggle the toes, and now place your hands to the side. Okay, where are we at now? Pretty much deadlift stance, right? And now stand and squeeze those glutes. All right, an easy way that you might take an athlete into the down position of the deadlift. Guys, so here's what we're going to do with the deadlift. We've got our feet directly underneath our hips. Our weight is in our heels. We are braced. We are nice and tight, like Kelly Starrett would say, right? Get organized up here before you go down into your setup. And then I want you guys to initiate the movement by just closing your car door, okay? Delay that knee bend. Take your hips back nice and slow. Nice and slow, stretch those hamstrings, and then when you get to your knees, let's open those knees a little bit, lock them out, then go ahead and settle down mid-shin. All right, I promise not to keep you down too long. Let's raise those hips up a little bit, good, chest up, and stand. Okay, again, let's drive those hips back and down, back, 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 delay that knee bend, and then settle into mid-shin. And stand. Very nice movement right here. Good question. So where do we go? How do we do a self-check, right? When we're getting organized? Good question. Do you want to come right here? So let's look at your setup. And notice again, we're working our setup from the top down. So we're going to do that down position. Go ahead and delay the knee bend. And let's come back up. Let's do it a little bit slower. And slowly down. Okay. And now, he's in the down position. Shoulders are a little bit behind the bar. So look at your peripheral vision and just raise the hips slightly. Once you do that, you want to make sure that you're not in your toes and then settle back into those heels. Pull that chest up. You guys say that's a good position?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he did that himself with no cues. And go ahead and stand. What happened there, guys?
He left his hip before he left his chest.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. There's some meat on that bone. Did you notice what you did? A little bit of, you drew those knees back and you went into a stiff-legged deadlift. So, what's your name?
Brent.
Brent, how would you fix that?
Give him tactile.
Yeah?
I think so. Get your start. As if his hips are rising too much, you just give him a little more pressure on his hips so he keeps them down by having them rise too fast.
Right.
So if he starts to rise them too fast,
all right,
you keep pressure on there and get him back to the right position.
He's on the right track, guys. Tactile feedback. If those hips were rising too fast, give a little bit of pressure, and then the shoulders rise at the same rate. It's sort of that whack-a-mole game like Chuck E. Cheese where you hit one and the other one pops up. You're just trying to keep two of those groundhogs down. Make sense? Great question. Where should we be looking? All right, well, let's come in the center, Nikki. And I'm going to borrow from the most excellent Kelly Starrett, who talks about neutral spine and its place in the deadlift movement. So let's go ahead and get organized down there, Nikki. All right, two schools of thought. There's the one, the traditional, which is look up. All right, and now I want you to keep that position right now and keep it and rise. Keep your neck where it is. Keep it up. Where is she looking now? Under tension. And now drop the chin, so she's looking about maybe 12 feet away. And if you look right now, maybe drop your chin just a little bit more. See how her spine is neutral in this movement? Now go ahead and stand. And look at the finish. You guys see where that's at? Does that make sense? Or questions? Good question, Nikki.